Alright, welcome back to the garage, friends. Let's just jump right into it. It's a Friday night, and I'm in the mood to fit the barrels and pistons on the 128 cube build. On the left is the stock barrel, and on the right is the new S&S 4¼ barrel. The stock barrel is still in pretty good condition. The cross-hatching checks out. I'm going with highlighted fins for some color contrast. Here is the stock and the new S&S piston. Last episode I measured the ring end gap, so these are ready to drop right in. The stock piston has a decent amount of carbon buildup. It's not pretty or ideal, but not that uncommon in my experience. This bike does have some miles on it now. First, I just apply a little bit of sealant to the base gasket. It is not uncommon to have some very minor oil weeps on modified big twins in my experience. This is just a preventative measure I have adopted over the years. Applying assembly lube to the wrist pin and bearing surfaces. With the piston fitted over the crankcase, I apply liberal amounts of synthetic engine oil to the rings. A small amount of oil is also applied to the cylinder studs. This is the same type of oil that I run in my bike. Now, I'm using the special tool to insert the wrist pin circlip. I use a zip tie to close the compressor tool so I can hold the oiled cylinder in two hands. I'm being very careful to make sure no piston ring is caught on the edge of the cylinder bore. It helps to have a second person to spot you kids. Nice. If you remember from last episode, I fitted the crankshaft locking tool to prevent any engine movement while fitting the cylinder. If I hadn't, the piston and rod would be moving down with the cylinder weight on it. Just double checking all the rings are inside. Okay, so I got one cylinder on. I ended up calling it a night at this point, so let's pick this up in the morning. Now that I got my 8 hours, let's carry on my wayward son. To start my Saturday, I decided to ease into it and start with some bar work. Off camera, I fitted the new clutch cable that I organized in volume 1 of this series. I also fitted the new Koso D 2 speedo gauge and left-hand control module with the cruise control upgrade. So, here comes another wiring time lapse. The gauge is fitted in a Thrashin Supply Company 6-inch straight riser with a low-bend moto bar. See volume 1 for that part of the build. I'm also running the new ODI grips and Arlen Ness short levers. Right now, I'm wrapping all the wiring inside a braided cloth insulation and cloth loom tape. This leaves an aesthetically pleasing finish visually and to the touch. This is actually very important as I would be looking at this every day. I treat my customers' bikes the same. Also, it does protect the wiring loom from the elements, which is important. Lauren has come in to see all the pretty colors of the Koso gauge. She thinks I should set it as pink. If I get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year, I'll set it as pink for a year. Well, that's the bar work all done for this build. I love this new riser and gauge assembly. Very minimalistic and yet has all the data the rider needs to know. I'll be posting reviews of the individual products once this build series is finished and edited. Now, I'll finish up the afternoon with the front cylinder. This time I have inserted the piston into the cylinder bore before fitting it to the rod. I didn't film that, but it is basically what you saw before, but on the bench. I really did not consider my camera placement during this. What I'm doing is holding the cylinder over the rod, and with the bottom of the piston protruding out of the cylinder, I can align the wrist pin so it can slide right into the rod journal. Well, that will about wrap it up for this weekend. Garage is a mess, and I'm tired. Some good progress today, but still a long way to go. Nice jugs, bro. Do they make that in men's? Next week, I will be servicing and torquing the heads down. Be sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this kind of content, give a thumbs up and follow the channel. Thanks for watching, friends. Ride safe and keep going.